Welcome to the podcast with wings, the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. Strap yourselves in while host David Shortte and the Shayne Train Williams take you on a flight around the country, sourcing winners and the latest news on the big two meetings in WA as well as the Meadows and Wentworth Park. The boys will be joined by East Coast experts Jaycin Campbell and Corey Smith. We'll pass on mail from some of WA's top kennels and get to know our industry members. You're at the pointy end of the plane for this week's edition of the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set.
Hello and welcome along the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set podcast. David Shortte and the Shayne Train Williams with you on this Friday afternoon. Train, great to be with you. Nice to have you back in studio.
Yeah, Shorty, it's good to be back, good to be on home soil, and it was a very busy couple of weeks over there in Adelaide, and didn't get our way, the photo or the finishing result, but nonetheless, second was still good, and yeah, back on the home turf. It's good to be back, Shorty.
It is indeed, and you come back on AFL Grand Final weekend. There's lots going on there. We'll start off the program as always with what's caught your eye.
Well, actually, funny enough, Shorty, it's probably about the grand final. As you well know, I had 2 grand final tickets lined up if Geelong had a won, Shorty, and this is talking about the early crow. Don't we love the early crow, Shorty? And a good friend of ours that we both know, we spent a bit of time with in Melbourne when we go there, Chrissy, texted me through about when Geelong were about 28 points up, said book your flights.
Oh dear.
And it turned to rubbish. And I'm never going to be able to let her live that one down, Shorty. So could have been at the MCG tomorrow with the feet up on the dashboard, but I'll be at home watching from home.
All right, fair enough. Should be a great game. I thought that it was potentially one of the tighter grand finals we've had in a little while. The last time they played earlier in the year was only 2 points between the two. If you're looking for a bet on the game, here are just sharing what I've done. I thought the really nice bet on the match was heading to margin betting and either team to win by 15 or under. That's at 255. I thought in a tight game that was a pretty reasonable bet to have either team to win by under 15. Also have had something very small on the draw at $41. They were only 2 points apart last time. Line betting on the games at 3.5. Normally pretty close to the line. $41 available around that quote. And a couple at longer odds. I've had something on Chad Warner to win the Norm Smith medal at $8. And Ashcroft, I got at 31, he's into 21. So if Brisbane win, I'm hoping he gets the Norm Smith medal. And if Sydney win, I'm hoping that it's Chad Warner.
What happens if it is a draw? Do they play extra time?
Yes.
And like how many, is it 10 each way or what is it?
I think it's 5 each way. Three each way. Yep. 3 each way. There you go. It hasn't happened. Well, last time it happened, there was a replay the next week, Collingwood St Kilda. So we haven't seen it happen since. It's probably just about due to happen, to be honest. So I'm prepared to have something small on to find out anyway. But I think it'll be a great game. Really looking forward to it. Yeah,
for sure. I'm obviously from Sydney, so I'll probably be cheering them. But bit of state of origin rivalry, isn't it? New South Wales, Queensland. So yeah, Sydney to win for me.
It's got that vibe. It will. I think you can almost take to the bank. It'll be the highest watched sporting event for the year for the mere fact that you've got WA, Victoria, South Australia. We'll all be tuning in regardless. But now you're going to have a much bigger audience in New South Wales and Queensland with those two sides in.
And Katy Perry doing half time.
Can't hurt, can it? Can't hurt. So looking forward to it. It'll be a beauty there tomorrow. 12:30 bounce down for that AFL Grand Final. TABtouch have got a pile of markets up if you're looking to have a bet on the big game. All right, Train, let's roll up the sleeves and see if we can't find a few winners for the punters for this weekend. We've got a 12-race program to look forward to tonight there at Mandurah. Share with us your key plays on tonight's program.
Yeah, you're going to kick it off, Shorty. Race 4, number 2, Rhino Bale. Very confident here. Cracked it for its first win in the state last week. Got the job done really well from the wide draw. It basically meets the same lineup here, Shorty. Moves closer to the rail. I'm not sure how they're going to beat him tonight. I don't think they can turn the tables on him, and it's just going to be a rinse and repeat job for me. 290 was bet earlier in the day. I see it's off now, but Rhino Bale to get the job done for me. Race 4, number 2. Then we'll go over to race 8, number 1, Kuro. Again, unfortunately, we've had a scratching in this race. Did go up even money now for scratching. It's into 160. Ultra consistent chaser. Been racing very, very well. Had some crack at some feature races not too long ago. Wasn't disgraced, but back to greater company for this. 4 starts from the Cherry, 2 wins, 1 placing. Very hard to roll. Shorty, race 8, number 1. And then we'll kick it off, race 12, number 3, West on Astro. He's resuming from a bit of a break. Just all class, this dog. 16 starts, 7 wins, 27, 26, 2 back. Strikes the race here with not a lot of depth. So I think if he's on song and ready to rock and roll first up, Shorty, he should be able to put these to bed. So in recap, race 4, number 2, my very best. Race 8, number 1. And race 12, number 3, West on Astro.
4, 2, 8, 1, 12, 3 for the train. Ryan Levitsky tonight. Race 6, number 3, Speedy Genie. So he's teaming up with one of the train's dogs tonight there. Race 6, number 3, Speedy Genie. To race 7, greyhound number 3, Our Benson. Expecting Our Benson to be able to step and give them something to run down. And race 8, number 1, Curo. So Curo's a pretty popular pick amongst the team for tonight. And Jesse Earnshaw, his better bets on the program this evening there at Mandurah. He is kicking it off with race 6, number 7, Sunset Mirage, which looks well placed on the downgrade there. Race 6, number 7, Sunset Mirage. He's also keen on the prospects of race 9, number 1, Kenya Kraken. 9-1 Kenya Kraken, and he rounds it out with race 10, number 3, Sassy Snickers. So the 3 key plays for tonight there for Jesse Earnshaw. Race 6, number 7, race 9, number 1, and race 10, number 3, a Sassy Snickers. One for the chocolate fans there this evening to run well. Now train for me, key plays, race 6, number 7, Sunset Mirage. Love this dog on the downgrade. I just kept doing the form for this race and looking at it thinking, how are they going to hold this dog out late? You go through its form, and most of it's city grade against our very best sprinters. Over the 400, wide's no problem. It's not a great beginner, but Sunset Mirage will be out there minding its own business, and it should just drop on these late. Expect it to be too strong. Race 6, number 7, Sunset Mirage. Crumble Manelli for me, back to 400 metres is the key here. Hasn't been terrible over 488 against our best sprinters. Just knocks up that last 30 or 40 metres over 488. Over 400, they won't be holding it out. Race 7, number 6. And race 8, number 1, Curo, looks really well placed. Little disappointed that it couldn't get the cash last week, but I would expect it to get back into the winners list tonight there from the inside draw. So 6, 7, 7, 6, 8, 1 for me. I've got my roughie of the weekend coming up in this program tonight as well. It is in race 3, number 8, Lil Mickey Breeze. Now, this dog's actually had 9 starts, track and trip for 4 wins and a placing. Drops in grade here, and no surprise at all to see it pop up at a really good price. I was actually not really happy to see it pop up at $11. It's off the map into $4.80 now. So all we can do is find them at double figure odds, and it was actually 13 on opening, Lil Mickey Breeze. So expect it to run well tonight. The money's there to say that it will as well. 13 into $4.80. Lil Mickey Breeze. I prefer to be able to give you the 13, but can't help what the markets do. Race 3, number 8, Lil Mickey Breeze. Is my roughie of the weekend, and I thought there were a couple of nice roving style of bankers over the course of the couple of nights. The one tonight, and he's week in, week out, just keep rolling to the bank for this fellow when you rove, and that is race 11, number 6, You're Busted. Just keeps on running into second and third week in, week out, this dog, and likely to do so again tonight, so we can throw it in for your places. And if you like to anchor up a box, it looks the one tonight, race 11, number 6, You're Busted, to be running second or third, as it so often does. The other rover was in race 1, greyhound number 4, Trendy Miss. This is another dog that's finished no further back than 4th at its last 10 starts. It's not a winning machine, but gee whiz, can it run a 3rd and 4th? And it's a really nice play for Trifecta's first 4s running on into 3rd and 4th. That's race 1, number 4, Trendy Miss. The other rover, race 11, number 6, You're Busted. And the roughie, race 3, number 8, Lil Mickey Breeze. I've also got the quaddie for tonight there to go through. Our quaddie kicks off. First leg, numbers 2 and 5. That's Global Express and Motor City Rossi. Second leg, numbers 1, 2, 3 and 7. That's a little bit sour, Upper Tux, Speedy Genie and Sunset Mirage. In the third leg, we're with 3, 6 and 8, Our Benson, Crumble Manelli and Spooky Hook, 3, 6 and 8. Then in the final leg, numbers 1, 2 and 3, Curo, along with Ice to Fire and Such a Vibe. The quaddie there is $72, so you can get involved there. $7.20 will get you a 10% share if you want to play skinny on that there tonight. Did you have anything to add on your key plays, any rovers or a roughie for tonight?
Yeah, you'll only need Curo on that last leg. Scrap the other two, Shorty. My Rover is agreeing with you, Shorty. Race 1, number 4, Trendy Mist tonight. Got into 4th place for us last week for the Rovers. And then my Ruffy, Shorty, race 11, number 5, Emi Nakayama. 1 3 starts ago at big odds. And Graham Critterley did mention in Kennel Mail that this dog has been trialling well. So Emi Nakayama, he's got a lot of weight to carry tonight. Old Graham Critterley's... hope he doesn't let the team down, Shorty. So that's my Ruffy for this weekend.
I think he's off on holidays again. He's trying to keep up with you, he told me.
He's the best. No, listen, people will have a crack at me. He's the best ever. Bali, South Coast, out fishing, none better. Good life to these greyhound trainers. I'm probably, I'm the hardest working trainer in WA greyhound racing, and people have a crack at me when I have a holiday. And it's a working holiday. Took dogs to the races.
He said to me, I'm trying to keep up with the Shayne train, so I'm away again this weekend, heading to Geraldton and Horrocks Beach. And then he's gone through his kennel mail, and you'll be happy to know that Rhino Bale's in that kennel mail. He's giving you a nice little clip on the way through there saying you're the king of the holiday world.
Yeah, well, he'll be getting a nice little clip if Rhino Bale don't win tonight.
I tell you the other thing, he's asking whether or not you can potentially do a deal with a travel company with all the work you've been doing on the interstate and overseas.
I do have frequent flyer points with Virgin, so...
I'm tipping they'll be all right too. There'd be a fair bunch of those there available as we speak. So that's Mandurah Friday taken care of. Let's move now to this feature program on Saturday night out there at the Coastal Circuit. And the feature race, the Spring Gift, is an absolute beauty. The Mulfetta Cruise has been in phenomenal form for your great mate Eric Campana. Draws box 7, but it only needs to do what it's been doing in recent times to be pretty hard to beat again.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric through the week. He sort of was a little bit worried. He might have been sort of coming to the end of his preparation, but I think Nick's back home now, so more than likely Eric's job will be done, and what a superb job they've done with the dog. He's won every feature race. He's been in undefeated for Eric, so hopefully he can get it done one last time for him tonight.
All right.
Tomorrow night.
Indeed. Let's get into the Saturday night plays for your good self.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it off race 1, Shorty Black Nest. Bit of spec bet here. I've been backing this dog over the 488, and it's been showing good speed. It's off a bit of a freshen up here, back to 400. Just thought it might be able to roll forward and put itself up on the speed and be very hard to beat. Race 1, number 7, Black Nest. Then we'll go over to race 7, number 2, My Anarchy Boy. Agree with you, Shorty. Now the red's out. It's going to be an even easier task for this dog. He's just a beast at Mandurah. He loves the track and trip, and he's nearly unstoppable when he's on song there. 2 starts ago, he smashed the clock. He'll balance up, go through his gears, Shorty. Be very powerful late. Watch him launch. Race 7, number 2, My Anarchy Boy, my best bet for Saturday. And then on to race 8, number 8, West on Smoky. He's a very fast dog, this fellow. Will be relishing the grade drop, Shorty, back to grade 5 company. He made the Mandurah Cup final, then had no luck in the Spring Gift heats last week, and he was runner-up to Curo 4 back from this very draw. So I think it'll be very hard to beat. Race 8, number 8, on top of race 7, number 2, and race 1, number 7.
Alrighty, on to Ryan Levitsky for Saturday night. He's kicking it off. Race 4, number 4, Savick. The stayer will be charging home late. Race 5, number 5, Sunset Serengeti. Looks well placed in that grade. And race 12, number 1, Renegade Kachis. Looks just about ready. Third run back from a freshen up. So race 4, number 4, Savick, that get back run on type. Race 5, number 5, Sunset Serengeti, who's got an excellent record, track and trip, and 12-1 Renegade Kachis. Jesse Earnshaw joins the party for a race 4, number 4, Savick, very popular pick with the team this week. He's also teaming up with a race 8, number 4, Arbolino, to get back and charge home late. Race 8, number 4, Arbolino, and race 10, number 1. This is one I like myself, actually, Aussie Bluff. This dog's been running around over 400, showing really good early pace, putting a gap on them, but then just folding up the last little part over 400. Back to 300 here, drawn box 1. Oh, looks the goods. Race 4, number 4, Savick. Race 8, number 4, Arbolino. Race 10, number 1, Aussie Bluff. For me, I'm going 4-4 Savick, get back, run on, no Mulfetta, no Sunset Comanche this week. Should be the key for Savick to pick them up late. Race 6, number 7, Mulfetta Cruise in the big race, and race 7, number 2, My Anarchy Boy. 4-4, 6-7, 7-2 for Saturday night. You are chartered with trying to find us the quaddie on a Saturday night. What have you come up with, and also any roughies or rovers?
Yeah, the quaddie for Saturday, Shorty. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. Leg 1. 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, leg 2. 2-1 out in the third leg, my Energy Boy would just be winning. And then the last leg, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. 125 for a unit.
All right, 12.50 will get you 10% if you're looking to get involved there. Any roughies or rovers?
Rover for Saturday night is Savick. It sort of needs another lap, Shorty, so it'll be getting back and running a place, I think, and hopefully win for all you boys that tipped it.
Alrighty, 4-4 Savvy will be hitting the line. For me, I'm roving on this particular program in the main race with West on Booney. I just think there's a lot of speed dogs in this race. The Galaxy winner will be very strong late and should be hitting sort of top 4 at a price. So for me, the rover there on Saturday night, race 6, number 5, West on Booney, to be getting back and charging home into the placings at a nice price, hopefully jacking up some of those novelty payouts on a Saturday night. That's all that I had there for Saturday. But I think it's a punter-friendly program, Train. There's a few races late in the program I was pretty keen on. I like that Aussie Bluff. I was pretty keen on Farmer Russell for Corey White in race number 11. What else did we
I thought
have?
the last race was interesting. Renegade Cachise and Solid Tank.
And Hopeland. Hopeland loves a
Hopeland
wide
as
draw.
well. I've
Yep.
probably been a little bit disappointed with Renegade Cachise, to be honest. He's had his chances to beat all over Carly its last couple.
Be fitter this time. Draws inside the other two.
Yeah, definitely fitter, but it's had a little bit of a break as well. So Solid Tank normally hits the lids running. If it does cross Renegade Cachise, it can break 17 quite easily. It could
Both of those, 2 and 8, have both run, I think, 16.86 from a wide draw, Hopeland only a few runs ago. So you're right, if Renegade Cachise does anything wrong, they're both capable of beating it.
Yeah, I just thought he could go around under the odds, Renegade Cachise. I want to see him do it again.
The other rover I had on the program was race 3, number 5, Zinc. And Zinc is a great get-back run-on dog in a field where there's a few chances. It could help to jack things up as well. Runs a lot of thirds and fourths, Zinc. They're the sort of dogs I love that are generally the rank outsider of the field. A lot of people leave them out of their box trifectas and first fours, so when they hit the frame, you go big. That's what I'll be looking to do with race 3, number 5, Zinc, along with race 6, number 5, West on Booney. That's it for Saturday. Anything else to add? The feature race itself, do you think Mulfetta Cruise just wins?
I think it does, yeah. I did mention on Great Greys yesterday, Inside Scoop now I think comes into play. Definitely for a top 4 finish. I like the way he's been going, and I think box 3 could flop straight onto the fence and run it on strong.
You want to throw it out as a rover?
Why not?
All right, so that's rover for the Train, race 6. Number 9, Inside Scoop. So we'll throw that into the mix there as well for Saturday night. That's our thoughts for local chasing, Mandurah Friday and Mandurah Saturday. We'll be back a bit later in the program with the Kennel Mail and Scraps from Lukey Townsend and the Credelli brothers. But it's now time to catch up with our great mate Jaycin Campbell to have a look at Wentworth Park Saturday night.
It's a busy weekend of chasing in New South Wales. Joining the boys to help find you the winners, it's the one and only Jaycin Campbell.
Jace Campbell now joins us to have a look at this 12-race program at Wentworth Park on Saturday night. It's a nice card too. There's some very talented chasers strutting their stuff throughout the course of the night. G'day, JC.
Hey, Shorty. Hey, Train. Good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, good to be back, JC. You're seeing them really well at the moment, mate. We'll get to it very soon, but the very best. Geez, you're that far in front, we can't hear the band playing from behind.
No, well, hopefully you guys can, catch up without trying to sound arrogant or whatnot. I do enjoy competition. I think I always work best under competition, and competition's a privilege. So hopefully yourself, Corey and Shorty can catch up and we can have a nice little tussle towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm confident I'll bounce back tonight, so I'll take a couple hundred off you, and then we'll see how we go.
Yes,
100%.
And I'm not confident at all, given the hoodoo that's been on mine. So I just think you'll be further away. But we'll wait and see. There'll be one of these nights where the drought will break and away we'll go. Okay, JC, let's get into Saturday night. What are you liking on the program?
Yeah, I've got one bet of value, a banker, a very best, and obviously the quarter legs, and probably just touch base in the Gardens after all that's said and done. But Wentworth Park, best bets for Saturday night. Race 5 and 1, Father Rick. Happy to side with the old boy here. Returned to the winner's circle last fortnight with a dazzling all-the-way win in 29.63. Admittedly, he does like to angle off the track a lane or two early, but that should be offset here with a vacant outside box. There just isn't enough speed in this race to worry him early. I think he can find the front, and from there he can drop his 18 dead down the back, 29.70. Really hard to run down. Obviously, Archie Bale, the Victorian, he's going to be charging late, but his inexperience at the track might get the better of him there, and I think Father Rick can hold on for a victory.
Fair enough. Race 5, number 1, Father Rick, been good to the punters throughout the course of his illustrious career. On to the next of your plays.
Go to the value runner of the night now. Race 10, number 5, Aston Luciano. There was a bit of a tip around for this bloke when he resumed at Maitland off a 3-month break. He was really heavily supported in betting. Things didn't go to plan on that occasion, but I'm happy to stick solid with him here. He's recently entered the Darryl Thomas and Michelle Sultana kennel, and there's not many going better than that duo right now. So admittedly, he does have Furness in this race, and he will be hard to hold out. But with Furness, as we know, he does like to hold his line. If anything, maybe run off the track a touch. So Aston Luciano should get room to operate early, and from there he should definitely finish in the first 3 in a race of this quality.
Alrighty, so race 10, number 5, Aston Luciano. On to the next play.
Novelty bet, the roving banker for the night. I don't want to bring this dog up again for Shane. He's probably got nightmares still. But race 1, number 7, Poor Petrov. Obvious. Sorry. I thought, Shane's either crying or laughing in the background there. Hopefully, hopefully laughing. But obviously captured the G3, the Group 3, SA Derby last Thursday with a really smart win, running down the freak iconic Jet. So don't worry about him, Shane. He's got the first 2 sections to win any Group 1 race across Australia. So I can't wait to watch him go around wherever he goes around next. I was just really impressed with this dog's field sense. He won that race on the first corner. He dodged a few potholes early. Sometimes you can see dogs where I think they're probably not actually trying to dodge traffic. They just happen to get lucky. I reckon this dog actually did really just get underneath runners at a crucial moment. Obviously, he hasn't seen Wentworth Park, which is the knock, but he doesn't appear to be a dog that's overawed by the bright lights as we saw last week. So I think he'll be really hard to hold out from the top 3 perspective.
Yeah, I think to win from the 8 at Angle Park, we've seen dogs like Wow She's Fast get beat in the Adelaide Cup off the 8. It's a very hard box to get across from, and listening to Mark post-race, he was a bit of an afterthought to take that dog there. Obviously, Paul Gunner was his number 1 seed, but a trip away for a dog like that, you never know. It could definitely be the making of him. Very strong, and it will be one to follow for sure.
Yeah, agree.
Alrighty, the quaddie.
Quaddie, leg 1, I've gone 1 and 8, just a bit of insurance there with Archie Bale in case he comes over the top late. Leg 2, 5 and 6. Leg 3, going wide here, don't like to do it, but 1, 2, 3 and 4. I think the inside boxes will dominate in leg 3. And to wrap things off, leg 4, 3, 5, 6 and 7. Just going the last 2 legs. Very difficult. They're very open races. Obviously, got to pay a lot of respect to those dogs in that free-for-all contest because they've all got great winning strike rates. And that 5th grade final, race 8, looks like a cracker. There's speed from absolutely everywhere. So 2 races where you can definitely go wide in and probably get a result.
Alrighty, let's get your very best. This is a game you're very good at. Who's the very best for the 100 this week?
Race 4, number 7, Kanya Amy, returns here from a 3-week break and has recently re-entered the David Smith kennel. I think she's performed best under his care, and without being disrespectful to her previous trainer, I think it's hard to argue with that sentiment. He has had her for 5 runs. She's won with him once and placed in 4 occasions behind the likes of Palawa King and Val Policella. Both those dogs were absolutely airborne during the time where Kanya Amy just fell short to those 2 dogs. Clearly the class runner of this race. Small field, massive tick, and I think she can hopefully posse up in the first couple early and be way too strong for them late in the piece.
Excellent. I've just got a few plays through the night in race 5. 1, Father Rick with 8, Archie Bale. This dog's back racing really well. Will be charging to the line late. Rovers race 8, number 6, Lorraine Jackie, and race 11, number 3, Slick Rambo. They are both place machines. And race 9, number 2, King Tide. I'll stick with this dog. Like the breed and like the cut of this dog's jib. I think it's got a nice future in store. Race 9, number 2, King Tide. They'll be my plays on a busy Saturday night there at Wentworth Park. And, of course, we've got the big race to look forward to at the Gardens. JC, do you have anything of note there for the punters?
Well, I haven't really looked at any of the card other than race 8, the Blacktop, and I'm obviously cheering home Sunset Fraser. He's probably, for me, one of the most exciting dogs to watch. And bit similar to Iconic Jet. He can just absolutely carve out sections in the bunny. When you do that, you give yourself every chance at any level, let alone at group level. I just think he's boxed poorly here. Unfortunately, he gets laid early to his inside, does like to use the track. And I know Sunset Fraser hasn't exactly been the greatest beginner, but I think the last couple of starts, for whatever reason, he's just sort of been missing it a little bit more. Obviously, his muster's as good as any dog in the country. I think he's as good a dog as Explicit to the second post, but I think he might struggle to get across. So I've landed on the 2 and the 4. Obviously, the market likes them both too. I think Nadal Sheba, obviously one of the more informed dogs in New South Wales, winning his last 5 races, and Good Odds Cobber, much the same. He's won his last 3 races and took home that Dapto Megastar off box 8. I gave him none on that occasion, and he made me look like an absolute idiot. So not going to go against him this night because he's an absolute champ.
Yeah, smart dogs, that's for sure. That's all to look forward to there at the Gardens.
Just wanted to touch briefly last night in Brisbane, JC, Valpolicella. What did you make of that run? I only watched the race at Northam and didn't see the time. Did it have every chance last night, and is it maybe coming to an end, that dog?
Yeah, I think she's obviously had a great career, and I don't want to be too brutal. I guess I can be very opinionated at times, but I'll probably keep them to myself. But I think she's obviously coming to the end of her career. She's about 3.5 years of age. I think for me, I'd say it's probably the travel aspect. She's obviously been here, there, everywhere over the last 12 months, and I guess that does take a toll on the greyhounds at the end of the day. That was, I guess, a return to form, not her best form, but it was as good a run as she's had for the last couple of months. So hopefully she can get some consistent racing up there in Queensland, that free-for-all 7-10 race week in, week out. We can get to see her get back to her best. But, she might just be one of those bitches that just comes in and out, I guess. And you just never know. She might rock up next week and run close enough to that track record. So I wouldn't be completely putting a pen through her, but you just couldn't bet with any confidence the way she's going right now.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I remember the great man, Britton, always telling me that at the end of the day, the travelling will at some stage catch up with them. And like you said, she's been here, there and everywhere. And to be honest, they've done a great job of her, to be honest. She won the $500,000 race at the Gardens, and she's been competitive everywhere she's went. But like I said, I was just watching it on Sky, and I didn't actually hear I didn't have the volume up. So I just thought in the run she'd pick it up, but I didn't see the time at all. So.
Oh, yeah. If there was Betfair in play for greyhound racing, should be $1.01. But, Red Dirt Road, obviously, going really good up there. I think he's won 10 of his last 12. He's a good dog. And, she probably should have won that race, I guess. But it was the return to form, as I said. So hopefully she can win next week.
Very nicely done. JC, how's the weekend? Look, you were saying it's a bit rainy over there. You're battening down the hatches.
Yes, I'm looking outside the window now, Shorty and Shayne. It's miserable here. It's probably 16, 17 degrees, wet and windy. So that's not great territory for us boys to get in the car and do a few laps around various spots in Sydney. So we'll be just bunkering down, watching the footy finals, cheering home both Penrith and Melbourne. How dare I? But I think they'll both win 13 plus against both Cronulla and Roosters. Don't give them any chance, and hopefully Sydney can take out the AFL Grand Final tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it was very raining here this morning too, JC. Put me a little bit behind schedule doing the dogs this morning, but it was actually a funny video that I'm about to send you that'll give you a chuckle of this morning's shenanigans at home.
I want to get the videos from last Thursday night because it sounded like you had a cracking time.
No, they're
not for public consumption, it must be said. Great work, JC. Appreciate your time as always here on the Jet Set, mate. Have a ripper weekend and look forward to our chat again next week.
No worries, guys. All the best. Thanks, guys.
See you, mate.
Time now to roll out the red carpet. Our VIP industry guest is one of the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. None other than Paul Stuart. He's had so much success in the sport of greyhound racing, of course. Many champions, but none better than the great Miata. And it's a pleasure to welcome him to the Jet Set podcast on this Friday afternoon. Hello there, Paul.
How are you, gentlemen?
Oh, beautifully, thanks. Train?
Yeah, how are you? Great, man. It's good to have you on the podcast. We've had to get the budget out to get Paulie Stewart on today, Shorty, but he's been a great mate of mine and also a great person in our industry.
He has indeed. Paul, well, let's go back to where it all started for you. You've really did attack greyhound racing with genuine focus. You effectively created your own apprenticeship. You learned from one of the all-time greats and one of the best in the business when it comes to greyhound racing, and that association led you to being involved with the Wheelers, who, of course, are Hall of Famers. They've produced Hall of Famers right, left and centre when it comes to greyhound racing. Tell us a little bit about where it all started for you.
Yeah, so for me, it started probably back in high school. Every year you had to do like work experience somewhere, and I'd sort of done what I wanted to do at school, different things, computing and all that, and then for the last one I thought I would do greyhound racing. So I rang up Johnny Tonkin and asked to see if I can do a week worth of work experience with him, and basically that's where it sort of started. I was about 15 or 16 and done the week there, and sort of kept going back every week for the next probably few years. So yeah, that's sort of where it all started.
Did you actually fall in love with the animal back then, Paul? And did you envisage being a greyhound trainer? Were you dead set on being a greyhound trainer after that?
Yeah, well, I always loved watching just the racing. Sort of, yeah, it's just one of those things. I love the animal, and then obviously when I got to work with them, yeah, sort of got me addicted from there. And then after sort of spending that time with the dogs, and you just keep following, and just sort of you get deeper and deeper involved in it. And then yeah, once it's sort of in your blood, it sort of doesn't go away. And yeah, well, I was sort of pretty much concentrated on that. I went through high school, finished that, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do other than train dogs. So I just done that, and ended up working, getting a job with the Wheelers, and flew to Sydney and yeah, worked there for 3 or 4 years, and also spent a time with Johnny Finn for a year or so. So yeah, sort of attacked it as hard as I could to try and learn as much as I could before I went out on my own.
I mean, your dedication is next to none. When me and Shorty were 18 and 19, we were probably out hitting nightclubs, chasing Sheilas, and here you were just focusing on being a greyhound trainer. It's taken you a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything. If you want to try and be as successful as you can, you got to try and put everything into it. And yeah, at that stage, I really didn't know what I wanted to do as a job, other than sort of that was the only interest I had at the time. And I thought, if you're going to do it, you got to do it as properly as possible. And yeah, it led me to the other side of the country, and yeah, basically done my apprenticeship over there.
How long did you spend over there, Paul?
I was at Wheelers for about 3 to 3.5, and I was in Sydney for 5 all up, and yeah, spent 3.5 years at Wheelers, and a year and a half with Johnny and Minnie Finn.
Through that period, Paul, you would have no doubt been associated and working with some pretty amazing dogs, particularly the Wheeler dynasty, which was just producing champion after champion through that period of time. Who were some of the bigger name dogs that you were working with on a regular basis that you look back on and have really fond memories of?
Well, my all-time favourite was probably Canton Bale. He was the best dog of the Wheelers that I knew, and while I was there, he was actually our pet there. So yeah, he was sort of the dog that sort of got me into greyhound. So yeah, we were lucky enough to have him as a pet when we were living there. And but basically, I was more on the breaking side. We done all the breaking in with the dogs at the Oaks farm. Paul had moved to Young by then, his rearing farm, and we were doing all the breaking. So yeah, pretty much all the good dogs that come through from 2006 to 2010, we sort of broke in while I was there when they were breaking in. So yeah, it used to be really good watching them break in, and then they'd get picked up and go to their trainers and watch them progress from there. So yeah, they've had some really, really good dogs probably through that period, and yeah, we've got to see them all come through.
And did you know they were good after break-in? They just sort of jot this one down and jot this one down, so this one's going to be good, and it turned out that way?
100%. Yeah, we used to make a nice little bit of a... Yeah, it was sort of like... Their break-in system was a lot different to what your general would be. As a general rule with our greyhounds now, they go to a break-in course for 4 weeks and then come home, and then you do... with Wheelers, it was more... breaking in and pre-training, so they'd be in the kennels for 12 weeks, and you get a really good guide on them by the time they
Another
leave.
massive evening of Metropolitan chasing lies ahead at the Meadows on Saturday night. To dissect the card, here's the man with the Melbourne Mail, Corey Smith.
And generally, as a rule, they'd always turn out pretty good.
Yeah, as long as they chase well from there, you've got very, very hot dogs. So you spent that time in New South Wales, and then it was time to return home to WA. And it's fair to say you made almost an instant impact. I remember you returning home with a dog called Pedrosa. It was one of the first dogs that you had back here in the West, and had instant success with that particular chaser.
Yeah, it sort of comes to the point of the time. I had him coming through as a young dog. I think he only had 5 or 6 starts in Sydney before we come home. And, I come back with 2 dogs. It was him and a dog called Billapoto. He was one of Starlight, Winston Bluebird's pups. And, I come home, and first race I think I put in since I moved home was Pedrosa down at Mandurah in the birthday cup, and he got beaten, got injured. So he was out for 3 months when we first got back. But once we got him back to the track at Cannington, he sort of, he went from strength to strength there, and ended up being, a Greyhound of the Year over here first. One of my first dogs to train back home.
And not long after that, this champion bitch Miata came into your life, and it was life-changing, wasn't it? She really was just an incredible bitch. She ranks up there as, one of the greatest of all time in Australian chasing, in the top sort of echelon of WA chasers all time. She's a Hall of Famer. She was just an incredible bitch, and everywhere she went, she won over the crowds.
Yeah, exactly right. It was a sort of... different experience with her. Obviously, with Pedrosa, he was my first good dog, and I got to travel with him a couple of times, and it sort of gave me a bit of an idea of sort of what it's all about. And then, obviously, she come on pretty much just as he was retiring. She she was in the kennels already, and then sort of started making her presence felt. And from then it went to interstate traveling every month. So that was a wild experience. Different. It wasn't it was very stressful, to be fair. But she took the world by storm basically in the Greyhounds, and it was a good time of my career.
You're talking of them times, Paul. I've had a few chats with you about Miata, and it wasn't all fun and games for you, was it? There was a lot of pressure, a lot of media, and looking back on it, you weren't really fond of it, were you?
No, I'm never one for that type of behaviour. Some people love that, sort of being in the spotlight and all that. I'd rather just keep to myself and do my own thing. But obviously with a dog of her profile, it was pretty hard to sort of steer clear of all that. And obviously the phone was ringing all the time, and it's probably given me a little bit of a I don't know what you'd call it. I hate when my phone rings now. It's probably from back then. If it's a random number, I don't generally answer it now because it was always so full on back then. But it's one of those things. If you got to do the right thing for the industry as well. You got to make it accessible to. We do race for genuine good prize money, and that's part and parcel of running for that money. You really generate the interest in the sport and get the turnover going. So it goes hand in hand with it. It's obviously, it's like any good job. There's good parts and there's bad parts, but it's part and parcel. But those are past now, and now I can just enjoy myself.
I'll never forget the night back when I was doing stuff with Sky and on-track interviews. That very special night for you when Dinah Nayland and Miata were both able to produce on our biggest night of nights here in WA. You must look back and pinch yourself. It's just the most phenomenal evening of a night I've seen for a trainer to front up with a smallish team and have the 2 Group 1s of the year here in WA taken out in the space of about an hour. It was phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, it was. I've often mentioned this when people asked about that whole night. It was pretty wild because obviously Miata was the first one of... I had 3 dogs in that night. I had those 2 and another dog called Military Power. And, she was the first one to go around for the night. And that was when she was breaking the prize money record. And during that week, actually, she injured herself at home. So it was probably the worst week I've had, and not knowing whether she was going to be fine or not. She appeared 100% well and good, but you're not to know until they come out of those lids. So it wasn't a nice experience for that entire week until she come out and sprained them. I think she stepped straight on the arm and just took off. And after that, it was, the pressure valve was gone. And I remember doing her presentation, and the cameras were following us back to the wash bay and all this type of behaviour. And in between those two races, there was actually Military Power went around, and I got more excitement of him winning because he actually won as well than I did for Miata winning, because it was just more of a surprise. And then obviously after that, the Dinah Nayland won as well, which was another shock as well. So yeah, it was sort of the full range of emotions that night. It was I've never had more of a stressful night, and then to turn around by the end of it. And by the time we got home, I was absolutely cooked. I remember about to drive in my driveway, and Andrew McLaren come around to have a celebratory drink, and I said, "Mate, I'm done here. I've got to go to bed," and had to call quits on him. So it was one of those nights where you think you'd be out celebrating, but it was just, I was emotionally drained for about a week.
Hey, Paul, you've not recently, you've become a father, and obviously I think that made you take a little bit step back, took a few less dogs on, and now your team seems to be cranking right up. You got a lot of runners and you're getting a lot of winners, mate.
Yeah, obviously, when Audrey come along, it's sort of, really, changes your perspective on things. And, I was sort of always so in the dogs, and I didn't really allow myself to have much time to do anything else. And obviously Audrey's come along, so I've sort of readjusted my to spend with her, and it just makes it a little bit easier. I'd prefer it. It's a good balance between life and work, because essentially it is a job at the end of the day. And so I sort of trimmed down the numbers and just trying to make it a bit more enjoyable rather than a chore. And obviously now at the moment, I've got some nice dogs in the kennel and they're ticking along, but hopefully we'll just keep the numbers low and just try and enjoy it. Have that nice work balance.
It does help to give you perspective as well, doesn't it? When you have kids, if you're having a bad day or having a bad trot, you think, well, got a happy and healthy child, life can't be too bad.
Yeah, exactly right. And they do. They open your eyes up to the important things in life. And I'm glad I have her around, and she can slap me into the line. So it's good. It's and it's a good job to have with her. Like, she comes down in the mornings and helps out with the dogs, and it's just good to see her and to have her involved as well. So it's I'm happy with it, how things are at the minute.
That's excellent. And the future for your good self within the sport, Paul, sounds like you're really happy the way things are ticking over. The sport's different to potentially where it was when you sort of started off all those years ago. It was booming. There were massive crowds on tracks. Things were really kicking over. These days it's probably more of a sport that's put on for people at home. We get the occasional decent crowd at the track, but a lot of it's done for people at home and for owners and the like. How do you see things these days?
Yeah, to be fair for us in WA, the biggest difference has been the old Kennington gone. I even think now if we still had that, there'd still be decent enough crowds, just the way it was in the restaurant and how that operated. And like the new Kennington these days does not offer that at all. So it's not really catered towards. They don't cater for people to come to the track anymore, unfortunately. They obviously think it's the industry's for those on their phones and whatnot, but they don't entertain it either. So it's kind of they've doubled down on that not being a race night experience, which is a shame. Because obviously sometimes they're down at Mandurah on a Friday night, they still get big crowds. Unfortunately, they don't have that at Kennington, where that's where it should be, because that is our city track. And if you go to other states like Sandown and the Meadows in Victoria, and then you go to Wentworth Park, they have the facilities there to be able to host a good night, and unfortunately we don't. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, with the tent as a grandstand, it's just not acceptable. So basically, unfortunately, that's how it is. And maybe one day if that gets fixed, we might be able to get a crowd or two back on course. But yeah, it's just how it is these days.
Yeah, you're 100%, Paul. Some of them school holiday meetings in the Pill, you can't move in the joint at Mandurah, so very popular there. Just quickly, we're going to wrap things up soon, but just want to know where a couple of these dogs are for the listeners and the punters out there. How far away are they, Paul? Firelighter and Mortality.
Both coming off injury. Mortality, he hurt himself in his last run. He hurt a hock, and he's always been a bit of an injury-prone dog. He's just back in work now. We'll hopefully see him back at Cannington when that starts up. And Firelighter, he's just back trialling now, so we hope. I'm trying to get him back for the All-Star heats. We'll just see how he goes trial-wise and how he pulls up. But, yeah, that's his aim, to go back to the All-Stars.
Excellent. It'll be good to see both of those on the track very soon. And you've got, of course, Barbecue Man going around in the feature on Saturday night there, the Spring Gift Final. How do you expect the Barbecue Man to go? Of course, Ryan Levitsky involved in the ownership there. Been a really nice dog for your kennel.
Yeah, he's been a ripper dog. He's just very unlucky, and but yeah, he tries his best. He's a good little trier. He's drawn well up against Mulfetta Cruz again. So yeah, it'll be difficult to try and beat him, but we'll be trying our best. He's got a good draw, so hopefully he can use that to his advantage.
All right, Train, time for you to produce the blowtorch and give the best man here your grilling that you do for each and every VIP guest we have. Fire away.
I think we're going to get a good laugh out of this one, Shorty. Okay, Miata, you walk into a bar, what's your drink order?
Oh, geez, these days it's a Great Northern, but by preference it'd be probably a Carlton Draft.
Yeah. A good restaurant for the punters to go to?
Oh, the one and only Nobu.
Nobu. Funniest person in our industry?
Depends what time of night it is. I'd have to go with Mike Johnson. You get him on when he's on fire, he's unbeatable.
Yeah, get him late at night after a few mids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the bins are in danger too. The bins are in big danger if the Chili Man's off the long run.
There's actually a dog in Melbourne called Chili Bins. I won't say best dog you train. What's the favourite dog you've trained, Paul? Doesn't have to be the best one. I think Pack on Lava was one of your favourites, wasn't he?
Oh, that's been from from your perspective probably. To be fair, probably the dog I had the most fun with would have been Dyna Nolan. Yeah, he was sort of one of those that was not much was expected from him, but he way outperformed his what was expected of him. That's for sure.
Favourite holiday destination?
It'd be Bali's, nice and simple.
Yep. A celebrity crush?
You'd have to go Margot Robbie, keep it Australian.
Not bad.
Well, this could be anything. Biggest win?
Probably the Top Gun.
Yep. Hobbies outside of racing?
Motorbikes and golfing.
Favourite track, Paul? Obviously, doesn't have to be in WA.
I'd have to go Wenny Park.
Yep.
One of those love or hate relationships, but yeah, I reckon it's a great place, especially on a massive night.
Yep. Me and the great man next to me will be at the MDC this year, so I think they still get the crowds for that, don't they?
They should do. They should be getting about 5,000, I would say.
Yeah. The last one, mate. Name 3 people in our industry that you would choose to be stuck on a deserted island with.
Oh, probably none of them, to be honest. I see one up at the track. I don't know. You'd have to say Mallow, but he'd ring you, so he wouldn't have to be there. Yeah, I don't know. I would take anyone that, as long as they're having a good time and having a few beers, I reckon.
Yeah, sounds
Doesn't
good.
matter who it is. You get a laugh out of everybody.
Outstanding. Well, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up there today here on the Jet Set podcast. One last one from you, Train.
I just want to say, look, Paul's got plenty out of the industry, but he always puts plenty back. We're always happy to take your call and I wish there was more people like that in our industry.
Absolutely. He's been there to the top of it. He's been a wonderful ambassador for WA on the way through, a great spokesperson at different stages for our sport, and just an incredible talent. I'm sure, most would say, he's had some nice dogs, but he hasn't found them by chance, and he hasn't got the best out of them by chance. He's worked incredibly hard to learn from the very best in the business, and while we're kicking along, he will continue to knock up with very nice dogs and getting great results. Paul, we really appreciate your time, mate. Have a ripper weekend, and thanks for joining us here on the Jet Set.
No worries. Thanks very much, fellas.
One more thing.
What's that?
Before I drop dead, which won't be far away, can we at least win a golf trip away, please?
Well, yeah, we have to pull our finger out there, mate. That's, it's like one of the bogey ones.
Oh, mate, it's killing me.
You'll get your time. You'll get your time, Train. You just got to keep at it. Stay patient. Good on you, Paulie.
See you, mate.
Good on you. Cheers, boys.
See ya.
It's time to get the inside word from some of the most successful kennels in WA. Here's this week's Kennel Mail.
Okay, unfortunately, no Corey Smith this week live on the program, Train, but he has been good enough to send through to us his key plays for this week.
That's unfortunate. I was looking to give the great man a bit of a ribbing, but I did see his dog win last night. And again, Shorty, I was up at Northern watching. Didn't hear or see the time. What was the time? Can you tell me?
Electric. I don't know the exact time, but it was. I was listening in.
Front.
It was phenomenal. Yeah, it is. It's a very, very talented greyhound. Make no mistake about that.
Interesting to see which way they go, Shorty, up or down in distance. There's a couple of big races coming up, and we'll probably ask Corey next week. Hopefully he can give us an answer.
Well, the caller made that particular statement. So there's some big decisions to make in the upcoming weeks. So yeah, no doubt about it. Gee, whichever way they go, they've got a very special canine on their hands. Now, for Corey, the Meadows, Saturday night, race 6, number 3, Fire Chamber is the first of his plays. Race 8, number 6, Smooth Plain, and race 11, number 2, Ezra Scarlet. So 6-3, 8-6, 11-2 for Corey there at the Meadows on Saturday night. His roughie is race 7, number 2, Magic Dark Star. And quaddie-wise, he's going 1, 3, 6, 7, 3 and 4, leg 2, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, leg 3, and then 1 out with number 6 in the final leg. So 1, 3, 6, 7, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 6. That's $40 for a full unit. And his very best of the weekend for the 100, race 9, number 4, Lakeview Emily, 100 to win. So race 9, number 4, Lakeview Emily, the very best. For me, my best on the program there is a favourite of mine, race 8, number 6, Smooth Plain. It was the Victorian Sprint representative, went across to South Australia. Really versatile dog, just an absolute ripper. 2 rovers, race 6, number 2, Daedalus Diggle, and race 9, number 7, Blistered Earth. Both greyhounds should be at nice prices and likely to hit the frame at odds. Race 6, number 2, Daedalus Diggle. Race 9, number 7, Blistered Earth. And we'll catch up with Corey again here on the program next week. Our man Bones Harmon also on grand final eve is a busy man, so he's forwarded on his thoughts for Darwin on Sunday night. He's teaming up with race 4, number 3, Bart's Chance, race 7, number 1, Slick Tesla, and race 8, number 8, So Naive. So 4-3, 7-1, 8-8 for Bonesy. In the AFL Grand Final, he's predicting Brisbane by 7 points and Chad Warner to win the Norm Smith medal. And we'll round it out with a kennel mail for this week. Graham Credelli, keen on the prospects of race 4, number 2, Rhino Bale. Race 11, number 1, Karina Missile. And race 12, number 8, What a Ripper. So 4-2, 11-1, 12-8, Mandurah Friday. And on Saturday night, they have race 4, number 1, Ballistic Ant, and 4-2, Chloe Ant, both expected to go well over the middle distance trip. Damien Credelli, Mandurah Friday, race 7, number 1, Artisan Artist, right up in grade here, but from the good draw can hit the frame at a price. Race 7, number 1, Artisan Artist. And then Mandurah Saturday night, race 3, number 6, Go Seek Francine, continues to race really well, an each way chance. Race 3, number 6, Mandurah Saturday. Lukey Townsend for Mandurah Friday, the best there, race 12, number 3, West on Astro. Race 12, number 3, West on Astro from the Helse Kennel. And Mandurah Saturday night in the feature, race 6, number 1, Wise Barra on an each-way basis. Luke happy with the way that Wise Barra's been going. If you can just get a bit of luck early on, can be right there in the finish at a price. Race 6, number 1, Wise Barra. for this weekend, getting involved for my racing multi-train and heading to Rose Hill on Saturday. Race number 4 is where it all kicks off. This is a horse that was good to us a couple of weeks ago, Unusual Legacy. It gets the nod of approval once again there in race 4, number 8. And then deeper into the program, we head to the last, race 10, horse number 8, Ferrari. This is one for the Kieran Maher camp and has been very popular, in-form mare, second up for the preparation, one in grand style, draws nice and low, just 56.5 kilos. It's off the map into 2:15 and should be winning. And the third leg is at Sandown on Saturday, and it is race number 3 on the program and horse number 7, Zlotys. And this horse is aiming up at a winning hat-trick there on a Saturday afternoon. So the racing multi for this week, we are teaming up with a Rose Hill race 4, number 8, Rose Hill race 10, number 11, and Sandown on the Hillside race 3, number 7, Zlotys. $21.28 that multi this weekend. Give them strength. And of course, you can use the Bet with Shorty multi there. Take the 3 of those. If you miss by 1 leg, money back up to $50. Take them on the fixed odds with TABtouch for this Saturday afternoon train.
I've got a couple of leftovers, Shorty. Tonight, Geelong race 8, number 8, Boracay Storm for Dave Gill. He's a good straight track dog and does go around the circle okay as well, but I've just thought out in box 8 well suited. And then we've seen and predicted and heard all the rain coming in Sydney, Shorty. So I thought race 7, number 4, Samana could win tomorrow. 3 starts on a heavy track for 2 wins, trained by Kieran Maher. So that's my 2 little all-ups I'm going to have tonight and tomorrow. 8-8 Geelong, 7-4 tomorrow, Rose Hill.
All right. Anything kennel mail? Anything of note for the team over the weekend?
No, we've got a quiet weekend. We had 6 in last night, a couple in tomorrow and 1 in tonight. And I think they will struggle. They'll be doing their best, but they'll probably struggle to win.
All right. What are you doing for your very best this week?
Very best? Are we doing shout-outs?
Yeah,
first?
you can do shout-outs, yeah.
I just wanted to, as you know, Shorty jumped in the car 4:30am Sunday morning and went up to Kalgoorlie, and lucky enough to have a winner on the day. But Team Williams took up 4, Shorty. They all saluted. Willie Pike rode them all, and to top that off, they had one in at 2J as well and won the cup. So a perfect 5 from 5 for Team Williams. So a big shout-out to them. And also, they've got our Safina running around tonight at Moonee Valley, so good luck to all the team there. And it won't be far away, Shorty, and our little girl will be back at the trials. I'm predicting another 9 days before we see her at Larkhill.
All right, I can't wait to see Keshi Boom back. That will be very, very exciting indeed. A shout-out, good luck to everyone getting involved for the AFL Grand Final tomorrow. I'm working at a pop-up event at Subiaco, the old Subiaco Oval, tomorrow with the Backshack crew again. So if you're there, come along and say good day throughout the course of the afternoon. We had the Jack Buckley medal on Monday night there at the Leaderville Hotel. That was a huge success. So yeah, a lot of fun working with those guys and looking forward to a very busy AFL Grand Final day tomorrow there at the old Subiaco Oval.
Oh, yeah, it should be a fun time, Shorty. I'll just be on the couch watching at home and in between Rose Hill and all the rest of it.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's hit you up for your very best of the weekend. What are you doing here?
Well, we're going to get back on track, Shorty. It's been a bit of a, I can't really say, but it's been a bit of a
graveyard.
Yeah, I was going to say S show, but yeah, graveyard will do. But tonight, Graham Credelli, do not fail me, please. Race 4, number 2, Rhino Bale. Going to have me 100 to win. I still can't believe the price. So $2.90 was bet. It's now $2.10, but Black Odds is a gift there, punters. So I'll get another, hopefully a couple of hundred back off that leaderboard, Shorty.
All right, so that's it for the train there. Race 4, number 2, Rhino Bale. For me, for this weekend, I'm going to take, I think that My Anarchy Boy will just be winning, but that could end up really short and too short to have on its own. So that's race 7, number 2 on Saturday night, My Anarchy Boy. That's 1 leg. I've got to find something to go with it. Look, can probably choose from any of those 3 on either of the nights. I'll end up going with race 7, number 6, Crumble Manelli tonight. So I'll go Mandurah Friday, race 7, number 6, Crumble Manelli, and roll that into Mandurah Saturday, race 7, Number 2, My Anarchy Boy. They can do me for this weekend. So race 7 both nights. Crumble Manelli and My Anarchy Boy. Give them strength this upcoming weekend. Now, a farmer buys a young rooster. As soon as he gets it home, it has its way with the farmer's 150 hens. The farmer is impressed. At lunch, the rooster's at it again. He makes love to all 150 hens. On the next day, he's going rampant, taking to the ducks and also the geese. Sadly, later in the day, he finds the rooster lying on the ground half dead, and there's vultures circling overhead. The farmer says, "You deserved it, you horny bastard." The rooster opens up one eye, points up and says, "Shh, they're about to land." The old rooster certainly living up to his name and getting plenty of damage done. So good luck. Hopefully you're a bit of a rooster this weekend and doing some fine work yourself. Make sure you fill up those TABtouch accounts. Have a wonderful time of it. Make sure you do it responsibly. Big thanks to the Big Left Arm of Bray's, done a great job helping us out, put the show together today, as well as Jeff and all of our special guests. And a big thanks to you for your company. Good luck backing plenty of winners over the course of the weekend. We'll catch you again this time next week with our next edition of the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set.
Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of the TABtouch Greyhound Jet Set. Be sure to share and retweet the show to help grow our community. Into 'em, punters.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.